I guess I'm just saying that I expected more because I adapted to me doing well. And all it took was 3 well-performing videos in a row to make me frustrated with one that does just okay. Maybe it did okay, maybe it did badly, statistically speaking. Hell, maybe most people didn't think it was good.
Delta 40. We're clones in the Republic Army. We're all here for the same reason. To serve and fight and die.
Do you really think that's all we're here for? That's all there is to it?
Definitely.
Huh. I hate the rain.
I guess you could call machinima.com the one place you could go in the early 2000s to actually get paid on YouTube. Sure, they would take 90% of your revenue, but revenue wasn't a thing on YouTube for a really long time. This was the only chance to ever get monetized. And so many people flooded to machinima.com. Unfortunately for me as a kid, I decided to get into machinima. The other kind, the video game kind, the Red vs. Blue, the Rise of the Spartans, the Clone Apart. It was my first ever introduction into YouTube. I loved Star Wars Battlefront 2 as a kid, and when I was on a trip overseas and stuck at home, I looked it up, and this is what I got. And I think it's important to understand where I came from to analyze what I call YouTube the downward spiral. I think there's a correlation here, and understanding that can help me really just know how I want to feel about YouTube. I've talked about the numbers and everything, and I don't know how to feel. Sometimes in the day I feel great, sometimes I feel terrible because one of my videos gets awful views and no impressions. So understanding where I came from and what has happened in my career on Cobalt Tux and channels beforehand can help me understand things going forward. I grew up on machinima. I created machinima as a kid dating back to the 7th grade. None of them were really good, but it's what got me interested in YouTube. It's what got me interested in editing, designing a story, creating scripts, all of that. All of that and understanding what it means to be a YouTuber, I got from machinima. And yeah, that's not exactly the best thing to do. I don't really enjoy machinima anymore. I finished up my last one almost a year ago at this point. And yeah, you know, it's been a different thing, but I've learned so much from just normal machinima, understanding every single little thing. But they didn't really go anywhere. The views were actually a lot higher back then. And maybe that's just because people liked doing Halo Reach machinima back in the day, before it kind of fell off in 2017. But it was always a good resource to get views. On my variety channel, Mirage, I did machinimas up to a year ago, and they's always got good views. I don't know what it is. It's something about creating a movie that people want to see, because people don't want to pay to watch anything. But it's never what I wanted to do. It is never what I wanted to do, and I've tried so many times throughout the years to go out and forge my own identity. And this channel was eventually and originally became the second channel to my machinima Blue Spark Films thing. And I never really did anything with it. I did shit posts and I did behind the scenes captures, all of them which are just gone because there's no point in keeping them up. But I kept one video up. One single video. South Park Order 66. I created it in 2017 for no reason at all. And then I left it. I didn't really care about YouTube for another 3-4 years. Until I decided to maybe get back on the horse, do it one more time, create some commentary videos, and this was the one channel I actually had, so why not post on it? And yeah, the views did not really accumulate for a long time, and that was alright. It was just a channel that I had for years and years and years. I never really expected it to go anywhere, but eventually it did. And that's thanks to that one shitpost. South Park Order 66 late April of my sophomore semester, in the middle of starting out my advice show and my commentaries, it blew up.
And when you get that many views at that young, it just seems like you don't even know what to do with it. Just something about seeing that number, 1 million, next to something you made. It's like one of the first numbers that's so big that you can't really visualize it.
Most YouTube channels have a peak, a time where their views and subs and all those other metrics are at the very top, and they can never get to that point again. And my experience with that was, I guess you could say, at the start of this channel's journey. I never expected a video from 6 years ago to get 1 million views in 3 months. In 3 months, I had the most success I've ever had on a platform I've spent 7 years on to this day. I am honestly a little shocked it happened. I never expected it to happen. I never wanted it to happen. I didn't want that video to hit 1 million, but it did. I got metrics upon metrics, subs upon subs. I would just put my newest video on the end screen of the South Park video, and it would get thousands of views for, little to no reason. That's when all of my stuff was super bad mic quality, and I didn't really find my footing yet, but it didn't matter. I was at the peak. I was living, and nothing I could do wrong. I could do nothing wrong. And that was the coolest thing on YouTube. I never had a miss. And for that summer, that one summer, one of the worst times in my life personally, I had something to hold on to. I had something to wake up every day and find passion to do, because I thought this success would last longer. I thought this success would last much, much longer, and it didn't. It kind of ended in August, and the views dropped immediately, and I was left back down where I started, where I posted that first Fallout tribute video. It was over, and I didn't know really how to feel about it. Because when you get success, the worst thing is losing it. And I lost it. Straight up. I lost success. The people that subscribed for the South Park video, I don't even think watch my content anymore. And if they do, they unsubscribe. My number on YouTube is the most fragile thing in the world. Because all of them could leave. Because it's not what they want. It's never what they wanted. And yet, here I am, trying to force this one style that I want to push, that I want to do so badly, instead of just probably doing the easier thing and making South Park Order 66 too. I don't know, it's just a different thing. And I have struggled massively, because I hit the peak at the very start. Why would I be doing this if everything I do since then has been a disappointment, has been a failure? It's the hardest thing for me to accept. I don't know if I ever will accept it, but it's something about that 1 million view video that makes you want to keep pushing, that makes you at least happy that you had it. Even if it's gone, at least you had something, at least your YouTube career wasn't for nothing. And it's not for me. I still find enjoyment in YouTube, but South Park Order 66 being the peak of a commentary channel isn't exactly what I had in mind. Definitely not when I started out doing this. I thought this would be a success. I thought I've learned every single thing I've learned, and I tried so hard. But now I don't even get any impressions. I've been basically shadow banned off of YouTube, and maybe that's the most disheartening thing. But I keep going. I kept going after that point. I hit reality. Reality slapped me in the face and here I am.
People don't have to watch my videos, and YouTube certainly doesn't have to show them to anyone. Personally, I think it's one of my best, but others may not, and I'm willing to accept that and learn from it and adapt and grow, but when that happens, it kinda hurts.
Millions and millions of YouTube videos are posted onto this website every single day. There's only so much time in the day for a viewer to watch as many as they can. I'm not going to say the YouTube system is perfect. I know it's not perfect, but I guess I have to understand and respect their balancing. The downward spiral is me trying to keep a positive mindset about everything when I know it just kind of hurts to watch all of my videos fall. I had a really good month in November, and I thought that was my restart. That was me getting back up on the horse. And then December hit, and December was not a good month for me. There's something about it. There's something about YouTube that is so enthralling, gets you so excited, and then it just kind of ends, and you feel horrible about it. I really try not to make YouTube about the views. On my advice show, I talk about how I don't do this show for views. I try to keep that separate. I try to help people. I try to just give my own opinions on things all the time, but some days it's really hard not to look at that analytics tab and be sad. It's horrible. I have horrible metrics, and I don't really know how to fix it. You can't fix it. Tags don't work, titles are stupid, thumbnails are ridiculous, and everything about YouTube is frustrating. And when you try to understand it, that is when you get the downward spiral. That's when you try to do everything so well that you just do all of it mediocre. And mediocre does not get you anything on YouTube. Mediocre doesn't get you anything. And that is the worst part about it. Slop and shitposts can get you further than I think anything. That and 2-hour-long documentaries about YouTube drama and icebergs, and the middleman doesn't exist anymore. And I guess that's the worst part of understanding YouTube. YouTube is a downward spiral because it makes you try so hard, and even when you try, you fail. And when you don't want to try, you still fail. And maybe in 3 years, one of your videos will do well. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it ever will make sense to me. But here I am. YouTube demonetized me back in October. For little to no reason. I assume it's because the South Park Order 66 video, the one video that got me so much attention, is stuck on copyrighted music and uses the South Park audio, so it's a big no-no for YouTube. They demonetized me for that, I think. They never really gave me a straight answer, but tomorrow I reapply for monetization. I have done everything right since that point, and maybe they'll understand what I actually am doing and what I'm going through. Probably not, though. It's probably gonna be a machine or a person that takes 2 seconds and looks, oh, he reuses content. Yeah. And if it gets to that point, if I'm denied again, the downward spiral is going to start again. I feel like I'm going to be even more motivated to stick a middle finger to them, because what else do you want me to do? I guess they just want me to go down the downward spiral again. And it will make me hurt. It kind of hurts going down the spiral. For YouTube, there's no other way to go. You don't get back up. You really don't. Few people get the chance to be monetized and ascend and be successful on YouTube. That's the 1%. There are so many channels that struggle and try their best to claw out of this. But the downward spiral takes you whole and does not let you see the end. And that's what I'm in right now. And I'll be honest with you, that's probably what you're in as well. The downward spiral exists for many reasons, and it's mainly to keep you engaged, to keep you focused, to keep you wanting to do your best. But sometimes it just kind of hurts. and there's no other way to fix it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy what I do here, I don't have any other commentaries that are like this one, but if you want to see more things like this one, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Thank you so much.